All right, Karina baby, for May the 7th, we have the chase. Mama's actually going to try and start doing these on my cell phone for a better way to try and upload them when I'm not home. So let's take a look at the chase. The chase. The dog chased a cat. The cat chased a mouse. Round about and round about and round about the house. The dog caught a cold. The cat began to sneeze. The mouse ran up, around, and down, a chunky piece of cheese. Karina baby, I miss you so much. Know that? Can't wait to see you. I hopefully will get to see you very soon. And it will hopefully be a good thing. Okay, so our next one is, I did the 7th yesterday. Today is the 6th. But I think that we did the Golden Goose yesterday on the 7th. So, well, for the 7th, the Golden Goose. There was once a man who had 3 sons, the youngest of whom was called Simpleton. He was scorned and despised by the others, and kept in the background. The eldest son was going into the forest to cut wood, and before he started, his mother gave him a nice sweet cake and a bottle of wine to take with him, so that he might not suffer from hunger or thirst. In the wood he met a little old man, who bade him good day, and said, "Give me a bit of your cake in your pocket, and let me have a drop of your wine. I am so hungry and thirsty." But the clever son said, "If I give you my cake and wine, I shan't have enough for myself. Be off with you." He left the little man standing there and went on his way. But he had not been long at work cutting down a tree before he made a false stroke. He dug the axe into his own arm, and he was obliged to go home to have it bound up. Now this was no accident. It was brought about by the little old gray man. The second son now had to go into the forest to cut wood, and like his eldest, his mother gave him a sweet cake and a bottle of wine. In the same way, the little gray man met him and asked him for a piece of his cake and a drop of his wine. But the second son made the same sensible answer, "If I give you any, I shall have the less for myself. Be off with you, and out of my way." And he went on. His punishment, however, was not long delayed. After a few blows at the tree, he hit his own leg and had to be carried home. The simpleton said, "Let me go to cut the wood, father." But his father said, "Your brothers have only come to harm by it. You had better leave it alone. You know nothing about it." But Simpleton begged so hard to be allowed to go that at last his father said, "Well, off you go then. You will be wiser when you have hurt yourself." His mother gave him a cake, but which was mixed only with water and baked in the ashes, and a bottle of sour beer. When he reached the forest, like the others, he met the little gray man. "Give me a bit of your cake in your pocket and a drop of your wine. I am so hungry and thirsty," said the little man. Simpleton answered, "I only have a cake baked in the ashes and some sour beer. But if you like such fare, we will sit down and eat it together." So they sat down, but when Simpleton pulled out his cake, it was a nice sweet cake, and his sour beer had turned into good wine. So they ate and drank. The little man said, "As you have such a good heart and are willing to share your goods, I will give you good luck. There stands an old tree. Cut it down, and you will find something at the roots." So saying, he disappeared without giving Simpleton any further directions. Simpleton cut down the tree, and when it fell, lo and behold, a goose was sitting among the roots, and its feathers were of pure gold. He picked it up and took it with him to the inn where he meant to stay the night. The landlord had 3 daughters, who saw the goose and were very curious as to what kind of bird it could be, and wanted to get one of the golden feathers. The oldest thought there would soon be some opportunity for me to pull out one of the feathers, and when Simpleton went outside, she took hold of its wings to pluck out a feather, but her hand stuck fast and she could not get away. Soon afterwards, the second sister came up, meaning also to pluck out one of the golden feathers. But she had hardly touched her sister when she found herself held fast. Finally, the third one came with the same intention, but the others screamed out, "Keep away! For goodness sake, keep away!" But she, not knowing why she was to keep away, thought, "Why should I not be there if they are there?" So she ran up, but as soon as she touched her sister, she had to stay holding on to them, and they all had to pass the night like this. In the morning, Simpleton took up the goose under his arm without noticing the three girls hanging on behind. They had to keep running behind, dodging his legs right then left. In the middle of the field, they met the person who, when he saw the possessions, cried out, "For shame! You bold girls! Why do you run after the lad like that? Do you call that proper behavior?" Then he took hold of the hand of the youngest girl to pull her away, but no sooner had he touched her than he felt himself held fast, and he too had to run behind. Soon afterwards the sexton came up, and seeing his master and parson treading on his heels of the three girls, he cried out in amazement, "Holla, your resistance!" Lo and behold, the goose was sitting there. There's Simpleton looking at the golden goose, and look at that golden goose. He looks golden himself in this picture. "Where are you going so fast? Don't forget that we have a christening." So saying, he plucked the parson by the sleeve and soon found that he could not get away. As the party of five, one behind the other, tramped on, two peasants came along the road carrying their hoes. The parson called them and asked them to set the sexton and himself free, but as soon as ever they touched the sexton, they were held fast. So now there were 7 people running behind Simpleton and his goose. By and by they reached the town where a king ruled, whose only daughter was so solemn that nothing and nobody could make her laugh. So the king had proclaimed that whoever could make her laugh should marry her. When Simpleton heard this, he took his goose with all of his following before her, and when she saw these 7 people running on behind another, she burst into fits of laughter, and seemed as if she could never stop. Thereupon Simpleton asked her in marriage, but the king did not like him for a son-in-law, and made all sorts of conditions. First, he said Simpleton must bring him a man who could drink up a cellar full of wine. Then Simpleton at once thought of the little gray man who might be able to help him, and he went out to the forest to look for him. On the very spot where the tree that he had cut down had stood, he saw the man sitting with a very sad face. Simpleton asked him what was the matter, and he answered, "I am so thirsty, and I can't quench my thirst. I hate cold water, and I have already emptied a cask of wine. But what is a drop like that on a burning stone?" "Well, there I can help you," said Simpleton. "Come with me, and you shall have enough wine to drink and to spare." He led him to the king's cellar, and the man started upon the great casks, and he drank and drank till his sides ached, and by the end of the day the cellar was empty. Then Simpleton demanded his bride, but the king was annoyed that a wretched fellow called Simpleton should have his daughter, and he made a new condition. He was now to find a man who could eat up a mountain of bread. Simpleton did not reflect long, but went straight to the forest, and there in the self-same spot sat a man, tightening a strap round his body, and making a very miserable face. He said, "I have eaten up a whole ovenful of rolls, but what is the good of that when anyone is as hungry as I am? I am never satisfied. I have to tighten my belt every day if I am not to die of hunger." Simpleton was delighted and said, "Get up and come with me. You shall have enough to eat." And he took him to the court where the king had caused all the four all has where the king has caused all the flour in the kingdom to be brought together and a huge mountain of bread to be baked. The man from the forest sat down before it and began to eat, and at the end of the day the whole mountain had disappeared. Now for the third time Simpleton asked for his bride, but again the king tried to find an excuse and demanded a ship which could sail on land as well as at sea. "As soon as you sail up in it, you shall have my daughter," he said. Simpleton went straight to the forest, and there sat the little gray man to whom he had given his cake. The little man said, "I have eaten and drank for you, and now I shall give you the ship too. I do it all because you were merciful to me." And then he gave him the ship which could sail on land as well as at sea. And when the king saw it, he could no longer withhold his daughter. The marriage was celebrated, and at the king's death, Simpleton inherited the kingdom, and living long and happily with his wife. Karina, baby, always be kind, no matter who you meet, because you never know when you're going to need help too. So always be kind to everyone that you meet. And always just be merciful to everyone that you meet. Loved, seen, and accepted. That's what you want to make people feel. Loved, seen, and accepted by you. Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter what they're doing. As long as you take a few minutes and say hi and, smile and just be pleasant within yourself and be pleasant to others. Most people in this world are very loving and very kind and very gentle. Every once in a while there's someone who isn't, but if you make that person who isn't feel loved, seen, and accepted, maybe you'll touch their heart too and they'll be okay. This world is short, this world is unfair, and the best thing that we can do is be kind to ourselves and be kind to others. Always check in with yourself and ask yourself, how am I doing today? And it's okay if you're not doing okay that day. It's okay if you need time, if you need to grieve, if you need to cry, if you need to have a day to yourself. That's okay. This life is short, and we just have to take every single opportunity that we have to be grateful and to be loving and to, thank God for everything that we have every single day. We have so many blessings. This life is hard, but we still have so many blessings in this life. I love you, and I miss you, and I can't wait to see you. I hope you're having a good day. I hope that you're blessed, and I hope that you are just content in your situation. Obviously, Mama just woke up a little bit ago, and it is actually, it's May 5th, it's Thursday, it's 9:21 in the morning, and that was the storybooks for May 7th. I'm hopefully going to get them uploaded today. I'm trying to use my cell phone so that this way I can upload them outside the house instead of using my laptop. We don't really have internet at the house, and it's hard to upload the videos while I'm home because I have to wait till after midnight. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to go maybe down to the library or something and upload it off my phone. I love you so much, baby. I miss you so much, Karina. And I just want you to know that I love you.